In this video, I'll share 5 things that have the power to captivate a woman. When a man acts in a certain way, it becomes extremely difficult for the woman to forget him. Let's start with the first thing, focused attention. Focused attention is when you, through your focus and attention, make that woman feel special, different, and cherished by you. However, it's important to emphasize that this doesn't mean begging for attention, acting desperately, or chasing when she shows signs of disinterest. On the contrary, it's about demonstrating genuine interest from the first contact with the woman. You devote attention to her, listening carefully and seeking to understand her likes, feelings, and opinions. This technique of focused attention and its impact reminds me of the story of the Tinder scammer. If you're not familiar, it's a documentary based on real events that tells the story of an Israeli man who seduced women on Tinder and then robbed them. One of his victims, Cecilia, the first girlfriend in the series, describes how she felt loved on the first date. He asked unique questions and showed extreme interest, which made her feel special. Therefore, when you can offer this focused attention to a woman, asking deep questions and paying attention to the emotions behind her answers, it captivates her and makes her addicted to your presence. The second thing that addicts a woman is the right compliments. Understand that both women and men like to receive compliments for their achievements and efforts. Of course, if a woman tells you, "Wow, you're very handsome," it will boost your ego and make you feel good. However, it's natural for you to be more impacted by this type of compliment than a woman, because women are more used to receiving compliments mainly for their appearance. Therefore, a compliment about her appearance may not be the right compliment that will really resonate and make her addicted to you. When you compliment a woman you don't know yet and say something like, "Wow, your smile is beautiful," it can have more impact and make her feel special. So, if a woman has green eyes and has been complimented on them since she was 3 years old, she may receive so many compliments for this feature that she no longer values them as much as others expect. For example, I remember a friend from my teenage years who was beautiful and had wonderful blue eyes. Whenever we went out, everyone commented on her eyes, saying how beautiful they were. However, she always responded with a simple, thank you, without really showing emotion in her expression. This may indicate that, for some people, praising obvious physical characteristics may not have as much impact as praising something more unique or personal. An extra tip I can share is, when observing a woman, identify what attracts her first, what many people probably also notice. Whether it's her charming smile, delicate waist, or lush hair. However, avoid complimenting these obvious characteristics right away. Save these compliments for later, when you're in a more established relationship. This adds a special touch and avoids cliché compliments. Learning to give the right compliments is fundamental to captivate a woman. Another extra tip regarding this is when you add a woman, for example, on Instagram or another social network, and start observing her photos. Usually, the photos that receive the most likes are those where she's wearing a bikini. So, instead of following this pattern, choose to like a completely different photo. It could be one where she's reading an interesting book, at an event, or in a beautiful landscape that doesn't highlight her body so much. Or even a photo where she's taking care of a pet, or dancing in a way that doesn't draw too much attention to her body. By doing this, you're stepping out of the ordinary and catching her attention in a different way. This can make her wonder if you're really interested in her and what that like means. Choosing to deviate from the standard can also be a hook to start an interesting conversation, based on the photo you liked, her reading a book, for example, or at an event, and later making a precise compliment. Now, let's delve deeper into what would be a right compliment. Saying, "You're beautiful," is undoubtedly a good compliment, but it doesn't have a significant emotional impact because our appearance is the result of genetics. The compliments that really captivate, the killer compliments, are those made for something the woman has made an effort for. For example, "Wow, you look beautiful in that dress. I've never seen you like this before." This kind of compliment is especially effective for women you've had a few dates with, and she appears in a different dress. This will make her feel noticed and appreciated, and she's likely to want to wear that dress or similar clothes again to receive that compliment. It's something she chose carefully and made an effort to dress that way. Similarly, saying, "Wow, you smell wonderful today," or "I loved talking to you, I love the way you think," is very effective because you're validating something more intrinsic in the woman, like how she thinks. It's an authentic and non-cliché compliment. Now, obviously, do this with authenticity. If you've had a conversation and really liked the way that woman thinks about a certain subject, then compliment her in that way. The third thing that greatly addicts a woman is protection. When you position yourself as a protective man, as someone capable of taking care, that woman becomes enchanted and addicted to your presence. The simple action of you taking off your jacket and giving it to her if she's cold, or hugging her from behind, are gestures that demonstrate protection. Many men don't do this because they have no idea how powerful these gestures are. A hug from behind, for example, involves the woman with your arms, conveying a masculine energy of protection. So, if she's cold, and you arrive and offer your jacket, that's protection too. Also, protection is about not leaving that woman in dangerous situations. For example, if she needs to go back home alone at night, you find a way to accompany her home or ensure she gets there safely. Sending a message afterward to check if she arrived safely also demonstrates your concern and protection for her. All these actions show your ability to take care of her, leaving her even more attracted and addicted to you. This is all related to polarizing well between masculine and feminine energy. Several attitudes that go unnoticed by men end up not communicating a strong masculine energy, and therefore do not generate attraction in women, whether on a first date, in a conversation, or even during a relationship. It's extremely important that you put your masculine energy, which involves protection, security, assertiveness, guidance, and positioning, to create and maintain a deep attraction in the woman you desire. The fourth thing that addicts a woman, and this also has to do with masculine energy, is leadership, and perhaps this may seem complicated to you. You may think that you're not a leader, that you're not leading people or your group of friends, so how can you convey this leadership energy to a woman? Well, you first need to start leading aspects of your own life. Start by leading yourself, setting wake-up times, establishing daily goals, and achieving them, controlling the time you spend on your phone. If you can't lead yourself, if you're overcome by your desires or laziness, it will be practically impossible to lead other people, including a woman in a relationship. So start by leading yourself, taking responsibility for solving problems in your daily life, and even helping other people. This will make you feel more capable of leading. Because understand one thing, a woman doesn't seek a man who wants to lead her, she's attracted to a man she sees a clear capacity for leadership in. This isn't something you can fake, it's something you build over a lifetime. And this isn't important just for winning a relationship, in fact, that's the least of it. Developing your leadership potential as a man is something that will have a positive impact on all areas of your life. And to illustrate this energy of leadership. For example, when you arrive and say to a woman, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it," that sentence affects her when she's worried about something more masculine, something you can handle. By saying, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it," you make the woman realize that she can trust you, that she can rest in this man she's getting to know. This leads her to adopt a more feminine, more receptive posture and desire you. The fifth thing that addicts a woman is when you create sexual tension with her. In a relationship between a man and a woman, it's essential to have this sexual tension, even before you kiss. What makes her want to kiss you is precisely you creating that sexual tension in her. If that doesn't exist, it's difficult for a woman to feel attracted and want to move forward with you. When you create that sexual tension, whether through subtle and well-placed words during a conversation with a woman you're getting to know or even with your fling or girlfriend, it makes her increasingly addicted to you. And remember, to create that sexual tension, you don't necessarily need to have kissed, just know how to translate it into a conversation. In fact, I received a very interesting question recently. If you don't follow me yet, take a look at my social networks where I do question and answer sessions every week to help with your doubts. One of the questions I received was, I want to conquer a girl who is Christian and very sweet, a little shy. How do I do it? It seems that for him there's a separate world to conquer this woman who is Christian, sweet, and reserved, as if it were something more delicate and subtle. But when I talk about creating sexual tension with a woman, I'm not referring to being explicit, talking dirty, or being rude. Sexual tension begins with subtle comments that make the woman imagine you two as a couple. For example, a simple playful comment like, "If you know how to give a good massage, we'll have no choice but to get married." Talking playfully, making the woman imagine you two as a couple, is an effective way to create sexual tension. For example, you can say that you dreamed about her or express that it will be difficult to concentrate on work because you can't stop thinking about the previous night, if that night was an extremely pleasant conversation between you two. These comments gradually increase the sexual tension in the interaction. Also, if you're already physically close to her, you can try gestures like stroking her back, her knee, looking more into her eyes, or holding her hand more intimately. This combination of physical interactions and provocative conversations will make the woman more and more involved and addicted to your presence. Now tell me, have you been this kind of man who knows how to make a woman addicted to your presence? Share in the comments. And if you liked the video, leave your like, as it helps me understand that the content is relevant and motivates me to continue producing more videos. A big hug and see you soon.